Okay, first I'm going to write the quadratic formula from memory. It's x equals opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Now I would really encourage you to write it nice and neatly for your reference for the rest of the quiz. Okay, I'm going to move on and I'm going to do question 2. The first thing I noticed about question 2 is that it's not in standard form. There's not an equals 0 over here. So let's change that. I'm going to write minus 3x squared. Let's see, that's like terms with this one. So I'm going to put it underneath here. And I also need to get rid of this positive 11. So I'm going to subtract 11. I notice there's no like terms with just 11, right? There's no other term that just doesn't have an x. I'm just going to put it off to the side over here. So this cancels and leaves me with 0. Okay, so now let's bring this in order. So 5 minus 3 is 2, so I have 2x squared. And then next the term with the x is negative 9x. And then this negative 11. So now I have my equation in standard form. I'm going to write a equals, b equals, and c equals, right? And remember, a is this number multiplied by x squared. B is this number multiplied by x. In this case, it's negative. And c is this number with no x. It's also negative. Okay. X equals, listen, give yourself space. There's no reason to write super small here. Okay, I'm using the formula. You can open up your page so you can see the formula to your left, but I'm just going to say it out loud and fill in as I go. First is opposite of b. My b is negative 9, so opposite b is positive 9, plus or minus the square root. Watch how I set this up for myself. This is b squared minus 4ac. Notice how I'm setting up my workspace. I didn't even have to like look back and forth because I just kind of set up my workspace. Now, this is b squared, so I'm going to write negative 9, minus 4ac. And on the bottom of my formula is 2a. My a is 2. This is the biggest like chunk of math. So rather than do it right here, like I kind of just take it off to the side so that I can do it and then bring it back into my workflow. I'm going to put it in my calculator in 2 separate pieces. I'm going to do this. This is negative 9 times negative 9. This is always going to be positive. And then I'm going to do this as a separate piece. When I put this in my calculator now, look, you might just know 9 times 9, which is like, right, obviously you could just do it. But if this number, sometimes you won't know it. It doesn't matter if it's negative or positive. A negative times a negative is a positive. So it's going to be positive no matter what. So I'm just going to put 9 times 9 like this in my calculator. That's 81. Now listen, it's still in the square root sign. I'm just doing this math. Now I'm going to put in my calculator. Negative 4 times 2 times negative 11. Don't miss the negatives. Okay, negative 4 times 2 times negative 11. That's positive 88. So notice it's positive, so when I write it, I'm going to write plus 88. Okay, now I'm going to do this math. 81 plus 88. And it's still in the square root sign. The next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to type the square root of 169. Okay, I'm going to press second, and then this button, look, that gets me my square root sign, and type 169. I get the number 13. So here I was able to take the square root, and this is not the square root of 13 now, this is just the number 13. I already took the square root, I got the number 13. So now let's come back to this, and look, I'm going to leave myself space. There's no reason to cramp it, I've left you plenty of space. And I'm just going to bring down, this is 9, plus or minus. Now look, all of this math, I just did it, it's 13. And then on the bottom, 2 times 2 is 4. Okay? Now, this symbol means it could be a plus or it could be a minus. So this is where I'm going to break into my 2 possibilities. This could mean 9 plus 13 over 4, or it could mean 9 minus 13 over 4. And then here, you can just use your calculator. Sometimes on some of the questions, the numbers will be really big and you'll feel like you need to, and sometimes not. Either way, you can just like, get in the habit of using it. It doesn't matter. 9 plus 13 is 22. And then I'm dividing by 4. So one answer is 5.5. And then the other answer, this is 9 minus 13. That's negative 4. And it's still divided by 4. You can maybe do this one in our head, right? Negative divided by positive is negative. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So my 2 answers are x equals negative 1 and 5.5. Okay, oops, here they are.